Right, okay. So yeah, it's going here now. It's Saturday afternoon. I've done my tasks for the day. I've changed my... Oh, what's this happening then? See, I've still not got the hang of this. Still haven't got the hang of it, you see. Keep trying, but it doesn't work very often. Yes, so it's Saturday and I've done my tasks for the day. I've changed my duvet cover, which is always very exciting and always very difficult. I've watched Governor Andrew Cuomo on TV and I got on the internet and watched every comment that everyone's making about it. I don't know if it's difficult to concentrate on anything other than what's going on in the news. It's just so utterly overwhelming and not confusing. I don't feel confused in New York. My British friends keep writing to me saying, joking aside, which I've been making jokes about how great our governor is, not joking about him, but about how gorgeous. Listen to nonsense outside. The president is saying, you know, liberate this, liberate that. In New York, we're still pretty much adhering to the rules. It's not easy, I won't deny that. It's especially not easy when my screen just goes like it just did, but I assume that the camera's just on, so who knows. It's a difficult time for everyone, and everyone's going through different things, inevitably. I feel incredibly sorry for people who have lost loved ones in this because they can't visit them before they die. They can't bury them. It's or not be there for burial rather. It's an incredibly tough time that every single person you meet is going through something different. And I think the most important thing that we do at the moment is we just don't judge anyone else, because one person's crisis is another person's salvation. Hello, Annalene. Yes, he is very lovely. We're talking about the governor here. So I've got this set up now so that I'm talking. I do a recording that I can then put onto YouTube, and sometimes I chat to Facebook as well. It's unfortunate that I can't do the two things at the same time because the Facebook one doesn't record for the one I have to put on YouTube. But yeah, it's very, very difficult for everyone. And every day you hear a new story of someone else dying and someone else being sick. And what can you do? It's out of our hands. We have no control over any of this. So the most that we can do is try and exercise control over our environment. Hence yesterday I bought this lovely kitchen unit, which I talked about yesterday, from a neighbour who no longer wanted it. And it's changed my life. So I might start just advertising kitchen accessories here. It's great because I'm small, I have to get on a step ladder every day to get things, or I'm on the floor pulling half my stuff out the cupboard because I need something at the back. So now I have this big unit that's extended my kitchen, and I have a pile of stuff underneath. Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Obviously need another sip of wine. I put all the stuff I use every day underneath that, so it's all accessible. So I won't be breaking my neck trying to get stuff out of the cupboard. There was something quite interesting on here yesterday when I was talking on here, which I do as just a light-hearted thing to chat to people. And, you know, if only one person watches it, cheers up their day, that's fine. If, you know, yesterday there were half a dozen people, and then other people go on the YouTube one, which is up there. Facebook's down there. But just so some people, you know, enjoy it, what's the harm? And somebody came on with an angry face. And you think, well, what could you be angry about? You know, I'm not killing anyone on camera. I'm not screaming. I'm not taking drugs. I'm just, well, probably a glass of wine, heaven forbid. And you just think, what kind of moron in this time that we're all in decides to be angry about somebody doing a little thing in their kitchen? Hi Claire, hi Tracy, nice to see you. I love it when regulars come on. It's like sort of meeting my friend in the pub and just going, hi, great to see you. I'm trying to think if I could do a double screen so I'm not to look at two different cameras. I'll see, I'll look into that. Yes, I was just saying, oh, I know what I could do. I could put it on a stand so it's at the same eye level as the other one. I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, somebody coming on being angry. How could you be angry about me doing this? And then there was something on the YouTube one. I did a thing on Mother's Day, because it's the first Mother's Day. It was the first Mother's Day without my mum. And I just read out a nice thing first, and one person didn't like it. How can you not like somebody reading something out for your mum, saying how much you miss her? There's just some weirdos out there. Hello, Julia. Oh, it's like my crowd, my clan. What do they call it? My crew. It's lovely to see you all on. Yeah, Annalene, was the OMG about somebody showing an angry face. Anyway, I've blocked that person now. I don't need angry people at the moment. We just all need to stay together as much as we can and, you know, support each other. It's really, really tough, I think, for a lot of people. Yes, I find it hard being by myself, but I'd far rather be by myself than be holed up with someone I didn't want to be with. And I was looking at the levels of domestic abuse. Hello, Laura. Got to perfect that way. You know, the levels of domestic abuse have gone up. Imagine being trapped in a home, whether you're male, female, a child, and you can't escape now, and you're the victim of abuse in the home. You know, I know that I'm still one of the lucky ones here. I have an apartment at the moment. I have work. Hopefully that'll last. But, you know, and some people just so horribly judgmental. Like, it's just so ridiculous. We've got to stay together. Cheers. Hello, Laura. I don't recognise Laura's name on here from before. So I've just done a quiz with my friends online, which was fun. I lost again. I was second, but then they do the last question. They give 10 points on the last question. And it was which national anthem has, I don't know, something like 26 verses. Now, should this come out in your pub quiz, it is actually the Greek national anthem. So always worth you knowing. You never know, you might be in an online quiz tomorrow, that'll be your last question. And you'll be so grateful I told you that. I also learned that this was my killer question. And it was, what's the collective noun for a group of unicorns? I've forgotten it already. I thought it might be a crown of unicorns. I don't know why, I suppose because of the whole horn thing and whatever. But it was in fact a... can't remember it already, see. I'll be hopeless. It might be a group of unicorns. Some unicorns. A cornucopia of unicorns. I don't know. But look, there's no cooking today because my fridge and freezer are so full, I can't fit anything else in. I was doing leftovers. Thank you, Annalene. That's very kind of you. Annalene's just talking about, yeah, it's the anniversary of my mum's death yesterday, so that was very difficult. I've just realised why I get the red nose. It's because these cheap glasses. I had this yesterday. Well, it might only be on that screen, not on that one. Anyway, I'm a bit Rudolph at the moment. I haven't got any makeup on again, but you get to the stage where you can't be bothered. So anyway, so I look in the freezer. Oh, no, I've had spaghetti for like the 5th day running. Because I don't freeze them in, well, I do freeze them in small enough portions, but then, that's better. Oh, dear me. I know it's first world problems, but maybe I'll just stay here doing it from here. That could work. Where's the point at which it works? That's the only point at which it works. Oh, it's ridiculous. So I'll just chat to you from here now, because that's the only way I'm going to get any decent lighting in here. If anyone's got any suggestions. Actually, I've got an idea. What if I open the fridge door and put it in there? Let's see how that works. Of course, this wouldn't work if I'm opening the fridge door, would it? But let's see if I can do that. No, not going to work, is it? It's just going to have to go there. Oh, I was almost there then. This is so boring, but this is what my life has become now, you see. No, you'll have to do that. That's the best I can do. It's the best I can do with lighting. Oh, God. Oh, see, it gets very stressful here. Right. Yeah, it's... Oh, sorry, I'm on that one. Oh, I keep forgetting. Because I'm using 2 mice. Hello, Jackie. Yeah, another day, just keeping going. What's what, family? It's to stop, if you're talking about this is to stop the glare on the fridge because it's too much of a glare. What I need is to get a big piece of card to stop the glare from the fridge there. Apparently there's something I can do to edit it, to get it out. I just can't be bothered, to be honest, so I just do everything straight on here. Yeah, any ideas, Emily? Yeah, it's just to cut the glare, but it's still quite glary. I'm short of getting a new fridge that doesn't have a glare. I don't know what I can do, really. Maybe I'll look into doing some... I don't know. I can't be bothered, you see. Anyone else having that can't be bothered kind of thing? Oh, thank you, Jackie. It's sort of fun. I have bad days, as we all do. I think these are, well, they're very trying circumstances. We've never had anything like this in our lifetime. It's very bizarre. And, you know, you've just got to think there's so many worse off people out there. You know, there are people who don't even have a home at the moment. And a lot of homeless people, of course, they're not having people passing by to give money. So there's nothing. Apparently there were vultures around Midtown and downtown yesterday. Vultures circling looking for food. Well, of course there's no food around because normally the vultures go in for the food. So we haven't even got that. Well, no, I don't mind the vultures not being there, but I'm not going to go out and feed them because they're a menace, quite frankly. Anyway, anyone up to anything? I might move this a bit closer, actually, because I'm never going to master this, am I? It's because I've got 2 computers, so I'll just go close to this and it makes it easier to... Yeah, I can't be asked. Yeah, CBA. Everyone's doing CBD oil, or whatever it's called. CB oil. I'm doing CBA. Can't be asked. It's actually quite better with the glare. But the one over there for YouTube, you see, it just shows so much more. It's better doing it on a big screen. I just wish, I'm sure there must be some way of doing them both together. Actually, there is a way of doing it both together. If I do the one on Safari, and no, it's not going to work. I suddenly had a plan then, but like all my plans, not good. That's good, Jackie. I'm glad that you're okay. Oh, Julie, I wouldn't worry about me seeing today's paper because I wasn't actually in it. It's my stand-in today. She is very good, actually. The person who stands in for me is fantastic. But don't worry about missing me because I'm not there. But you could go online and see me if you were generous enough to pay for a Daily Mail subscription. Because I'm there. And it comes up again a couple of days later if you just Google it. He doesn't want to be contaminated. Oh. Yeah. It's, you know, I don't know what it's like in the UK, but in New York, there's a kind of argument going on with the president and the governors. We've got a very good governor in New York who just basically tells us to obey the rules, and it's what we do. But we have a president who's saying to people, yeah, go out, it'll all be all right. And he says this, it's based on a feeling that he has, that it's all going to be all right. Well, good luck with that. The difficulty is that Florida opened one of its beaches today. Everyone went out. The difficulty you then have is when those people have been on the Florida beach, which, by the way, had its highest rate of deaths yesterday than it's ever had. And it's then when they start travelling to other parts of the country. And I think the thing that our governor says is that, you know, let's just keep this in lockdown for as long as we can. You can't just go back. This is just going to surface and resurface if this goes on. People are such idiots. There are people out here saying COVID-19, it's all a hoax. And I sort of get it. I think people are very fearful. And when people are fearful and stupid, It's a lethal combination. Fear and stupidity is the worst combination that you can have in life, because unfortunately fear and stupidity creates a very loud voice. As I'm not going to name any names, but fear and stupidity is a difficult one to deal with in our times. And, I listen to the experts. I haven't been out for quite a while now. I went out briefly for a walk. But if people get too close, it's pretty good here, actually. People tend to stay about 10 feet apart. I feel that carrying a rifle helps me. No, it's not true, actually. But I think that this is one of the things that... I know in Britain people are very anti-guns. I'm very anti-guns, actually, but for different reasons, which I'll come on to in a minute. But the sale of guns went up phenomenally, and the sale of bullets and things, because people are fearful for their homes, and when you're in fear, like I said, you put up defences, and to a lot of Americans, that's having a gun. My biggest fear with guns at the moment is something that people haven't really considered, and that's the number of suicide rates in America through people shooting themselves is incredibly high. And I mean, seriously high. And it's something that gets pushed under. Far more people die from suicide by killing themselves with guns than any other, how do you put it, means of using a gun. And I don't see why anyone has to own an AR-15, I really don't. The Second Amendment protects people's right to arms. Well, you can build a bomb in your garage if you're just taking that literally. Apparently there's a clause then that stops you doing that. But you can't just say it's my right to own any kind of explosive or weapon whatsoever, irrespective of consequences. But like I said, there are people who are legal people I've spoken to said that there is another clause that stops people from making bombs in their garage. But try telling that to a lot of the idiots around. But the whole gun thing and suicide is something that really worries me. Suicide, as we know, is a very, very tragic thing to happen in anyone's life. I mean, the people who are left. It's a terrible thing to happen in the individual who's doing it, because they have been in so much pain and distress, and when you get to that stage, the shutters come down, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. People call it a selfish act. It's not even an act, to be honest. When it happens, it's the shutters come down. It's like you're incapable of feeling when you get depressed. Anyone who's suffered from depression will know what that means. The difficulty now is that I think that we're going to see a huge upsurge in depression, and when this is over, in PTSD, because this is unlike, like I said, it's unlike anything we've ever experienced, and it's not easy. But I do think that we're going to see a high number of suicides, and while you have a gun there, easy access, you have a bad day, and you take a gun. And it's something that I feel very strongly about, and I think should be looked into, because there's not enough attention paid to depression and how people suffer emotionally anyway in our society. People are very intolerant of it, whether you're in Britain, the United Kingdom, or any other part of Europe. Anyway, enough about suicide. I don't have a gun. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm just saying that anyone who's going through anything very, very difficult, we've just got to, in this difficult time, we've got to reach out to each other as much as we possibly can. And we'll have good days, we'll have bad days. It'll be like, it's the pendulum, the weather vane. When you're out, I'll be in. And it's just something that, as they used to say at the end of Jerry Springer's show, what's it? Look after one another, something like that. Or I don't give a damn about you. I don't know. No, it was about look after each other. Anyway, let's go to more cheerful notes. I have food in my stomach. I'm looking at your notes now. Yeah, there are lots of. Thank you, William. That's really kind of you. Thank you. It is something I feel very passionately about. And if this pandemic has taught us anything, surely it's we've got to look out for each other a lot more than we have done. We do it to a point, but we don't do it anywhere near as often as we do. There are too many preoccupations. The huge irony, of course, is that we become so preoccupied in real life, as we used to know it, or as being out now, we become so preoccupied with social networking that we forget about other people. And yet now, during these times, it's the thing that's keeping us all together. So there are good things and bad things about it. Quite frankly, I don't know how I'd be surviving without this. And even if I'm just talking to myself, even if there's no one else around, it's lovely doing this, to see you all on here, you know. Even if I'm just talking to myself, it really helps to vent what we're feeling and going through. And like I said, you know, I'd rather be by myself and dealing with it than being in an abusive relationship and knowing that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. The president here keeps talking about light at the end of the tunnel. And I wrote a blog this week. I don't know if any of you read my blog, but one of the things I said in it is that's too premature. We don't look at the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's look at what lights there are in the middle of the tunnel. And we've got a great governor who's enabling us to do that. You know, there is no light at the end of the tunnel at the moment. We're all in it. So let's look at the little light that we have. Social networking, people, helping each other. I've been amazed today how human beings step up to the mark. There's some amazing stories out there, there really, really are. And the goodness and kindness that people have. And those of you who weren't on here earlier, I can't believe it, somebody did an angry face on this yesterday. Well, I blocked them. And then somebody didn't like on YouTube something I'd read out about my mum, who, it was the anniversary of her death yesterday, the first year anniversary. And I thought, what kind of mean person could you be in this day and age to put an angry face on me just sitting in my kitchen trying to be supportive and nice? And what person puts a negative against you saying something nice about my mum and missing her? You know, it's difficult. Right, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to disappear. I'm sorry it's no cooking today, but honestly, I can't cook anything else because there is so much food in my freezer. Is there anything that I could do cooking-wise? No, do you know, the only thing I can do today, what can I do? I can toast something, or I can unfreeze something. Look at it, just ridiculous. Look at my fridge. I can't even open the freezer, so I can't show you that. It's just so much stuff there. Oh, see, now that's gone again then. My anti-glare screen's gone again. I'll have to work that before tomorrow. Look, thanks so much for joining in again. And hi Sue. So great to see you all. Might be on again later, I don't know. But that screen. Thanks ever so much. And you know, stay safe. And I really appreciate you coming on and chatting. I really do. It helps a lot. Thank you, Tracy. You know, it can't all be light and fluffy all the time. And I think it helps to talk about some of the big issues that we're all dealing with, or certainly we know people who are dealing with. So thank you, Tracy, I really appreciate that. Okay, have a good night, everyone, and might see you later, but probably not. See you all tomorrow. Take care, bye. And thank you. Your friendship means a lot, it really does. Bye.